Greetings. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Welcome to the Stoic Social Club. I won't do that accent for the whole video, guys, but it was appropriate for the opening. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I really hope that this is the start of an incredible journey together. My name's Joe, and I'm the founder of the Stoic Social Club. I thought it was important to begin this journey with an introductory episode letting you know what this club is all about and giving you a little background on why I started this channel. I'd like to start by clearing up some misconceptions with the modern usage of the word stoic. It is often reduced down to an external appearance of toughness or indifference to emotions or the world's troubles, when really the ancient school of Stoic philosophy was meant to provide us with a framework to live a good life by learning practical ways to deal with stress, suffering, and hardships, to learn how to take personal responsibility for our actions, to use adversity as an opportunity for growth. Being a Stoic in modern times does not mean that you suppress your emotions. It is structured to help you not only understand, but to manage your emotions on a daily basis so that they don't overwhelm you. It is aimed at obtaining freedom from your destructive emotions that hold so many of us back from our true potential. There's also a misconception that Stoics just deal with whatever happens in life without striving for change or caring about the circumstances. No, the Stoics teach us to focus on what's within our control, like our thoughts, our judgments, our actions, and to accept what is not within our control. Those of you out there that are in the addiction recovery community, like myself, may recognize that wording, which is similar to the serenity prayer that you'll hear in rehabs and 12-step addiction recovery programs. It goes like this: grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And as much as the Stoics focus on self-discipline, and all of this may seem like a heavy topic with no fun involved, the great Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca said it best: it is more human to laugh at life than to lament it. Meaning it's better to approach life with a sense of humor rather than to let it constantly bring you down. And the Stoics were not abstinent from pleasures like sex or alcohol, but they consistently stressed the importance of moderation and the ability to maintain self-control over one's actions, avoiding excess or dependence, and always maintaining a rational mind. Whew. All right, guys, at this point, some of you must be wondering to yourself, all right, man, I kind of understand what the Stoicism's all about, but who are you? And why are you dressed like that? Well, guys, let me give you a little insight on my background and my inspiration behind forming this club so that we can feel a little more acquainted. And I decided to wear this cloak, this toga, whatever you want to call it, a tunic, to set the mood a little more. All right. By the way, I'm terrible with names, so just a reminder, my name is Joe. I'm a proud member of both the addiction recovery and the mental health communities. And by being a member of these communities, I mean that I'm open and vocal about my past and my current struggles so that others can relate and feel comfortable approaching me about the subject, in hopes that my experiences could possibly provide some sort of light for others seeking more help. My sobriety date from alcohol is right here on my chest, November 27, 2018, right under my laurel wreath. And after discovering Stoicism, it completely changed my life. I felt a fire raging inside me ever since to become an ambassador for this ancient philosophy and to bring it to those that are struggling with their mental health, which in these days is almost everyone, and to those that are struggling with their addiction issues, which go beyond just substance abuse, such as social media, porn, sex, food, gambling, gaming, working addictions, the list goes on. And it doesn't help that all of these are constantly shoved into our face. And there are billions upon billions of dollars spent by corporate companies to keep you addicted to these vices. This club is for all the misfit toys out there that feel like they're drowning in the sea of life. While in the beginning stages of planning all this out, I had a realization. There are moments in all our lives when we hear something profound that sometimes just makes us pause in the moment and really reflect upon our life. But sometimes we hear something profound that not only makes us pause, but do a complete pivot from our current path and down a road we only dreamed of ever discovering. My hope is that every Sunday from here on out, the Stoic Social Club can provide you with a powerful statement that will bring you a beam of hope and inspiration into your life every single week. The world's greatest leaders throughout history, the successful businessmen of society, the common denominator amongst all of them is the ability to control their emotions and make proper decisions under the most dire circumstances. But the Stoics wanted us all to benefit from this. The common men, the common women in society, not just its leaders. And my mission is to pass the torch to as many people as I can, because there needs to be more options on the board for people to be able to achieve self-mastery and to become the best versions of themselves so that they have the absolute best chance of success in life, no matter their circumstances or starting point. So, let me bring everyone up to speed on my personal life. After a painful detox experience and then completing an inpatient rehab program, I embarked on a journey that I thought would be simple. Don't drink alcohol, and my life would be paradise from here on out. But little did I realize that by addressing my drinking problem, I exposed that I had a thinking problem. I'd spent those vital preteen, teenage, young adult years avoiding all the warning signs that this ship was doomed to sink. Instead, I hooked up a pump, put a hose into the sea, and I started filling my ship up with negative emotions, negative people, and as much booze as humanly possible so that it would sink even quicker. I surrounded myself with people who were just as angry at the world as I was, people who were actively seeking out ways to disconnect not only from reality and consciousness, but from also society. I fought authority at every turn. My ego was so big, I don't know how my head fit through the door of any bar that I walked into. I've heard people say that your emotional growth stops at the age that you begin using drugs or alcohol as your coping tool. And I remember hearing that early on in recovery, and my ego wouldn't allow me for it to ring true in my head. But looking back now, it's completely true. I responded to every situation like an angry, broken little boy, because that's what I was, even after I put down the bottle and I dried out from the booze. I dove into 12-step recovery groups, eventually leading meetings at different chapters. I sought out different forms of therapy. I spoke at rehabs just to those that were just boarding the train to the sober life. I embraced the local recovery community as much as my schedule allowed. But as the years passed and I noticed I was still struggling with my emotions on a daily basis, I felt as if there was a missing piece to the puzzle. Then one day, I'm listening to a podcast hosted by one of my favorite comedians, Chrissy D, Chrissy Cholesterol, Chris DiStefano. And I heard something that changed the course of my life forever. And for that, I will always be grateful to him for this. During the early days of my sobriety, I was going crazy at home at nighttime when I would normally be at the pubs raising hell. I was trying to find ways to keep my mind distracted from the overwhelming anxiety and depression that was always looming over my head. And after I discovered that podcasts were a thing, I dove in trying to find something that could click with me, that I connected with, and I could listen to every night. In those times when I needed something in my ear, I needed a distraction. And when I stumbled upon a video of Chris DiStefano, I quickly fell in love with not only his comedy style, but also his passion for history, a passion that I have as well. Chris is very open and a very vulnerable person when it comes to discussing his emotions. I mean, he used to have a segment called Anxiety Tuesdays. Somewhere along the path, Chris started talking passionately about this thing called Stoicism, which allowed him to gain control of his emotions and have a better outlook on his life. He still publicly held himself accountable for his mistakes, even in his personal life. While he would be discussing Stoicism, Chris would always keep giving shout outs to an author named Ryan Holiday, whom he credits for introducing him to this ancient art of living, Stoicism. So I instantly look up Ryan Holiday's YouTube channel. I start watching his amazing content, and I'm instantly hooked. I can't get enough of it. And then all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off in my head. This is the missing piece to the puzzle. So every paycheck from there on out, I'd put a little money to the side. I'd order Ryan Holiday's next book. He has such an amazing way of writing that makes learning the ideas and the principles of Stoicism very obtainable for anyone that may be seeking its benefits. Meaning it's a great starting point. If you don't want to just start with the ancient literature, read a little bit of Ryan Holiday, and then you could dive in to the actual literature written by the Stoics. Ryan Holiday's content provides a welcoming environment, and you could feel the passion when he speaks to the great Stoics. I was fully hooked. And now, a couple years later, I've amassed a large collection of literature written by the ancient Stoics and their students, as well as books written by modern authors like Ryan that share the same passion for this life-altering philosophy. I spend 7 days a week, 365 days a year, reading, writing, and consuming content about Stoicism to this day. It's now become muscle memory to monitor my behavior and my emotions. But please don't think that I don't have bad days and I don't respond to things in the wrong way or I lose my temper. Sorry, it sounded like there was a dog collar behind me. We all lose our temper. We all make mistakes. But the difference is now I recognize the lapse in judgment. Now I hold myself accountable for it. And I try to correct that behavior to prevent it from repeating in the future. It's all about self-awareness. And now the time has come. I have the fire burning inside of me to start creating content of my own, to join those that are passing the torch via the internet, to join those that are throwing life rings out to others that feel like they are drowning in the sea of life. I'm a strong believer that rising tides raise all boats, and I'm simply trying to add to that rising tide. Now, the moment of launch is here. I can reflect back now, and I can see how important it is to choose who you listen to and what you watch carefully. Instead of doom scrolling, I started locking in on people that I really related to, and a new path in life appeared. Like one of my favorite Stoics, Epictetus, said, "If a companion is dirty, his friends cannot help but get a little dirty too, no matter how clean they started." And I'm sure your parents, your grandparents, someone in your life, I'm sure you heard, if you hang out with trash, you're gonna be trashy. You hang out with dirt, you're gonna be dirty. So it's the same thing with the internet and what you listen to. If you listen to junk, you're gonna have junk going through your head. If you listen to good educational stuff that can help you in life, then that's what's gonna be going through your head. That being said, I owe a huge debt of gratitude to both Chris DiStefano and Ryan Holiday for continuing to have a huge impact on my life. Follow Chris everywhere at Christy Comedy to find all his content, and you can look up Ryan Holiday on all platforms, or his channel is The Daily Stoic as well. All right, it may be a personal shout out, but I have to take a quick moment to also thank Mr. Morgan Wallen. A lot of my mental disorders that I currently still deal with were exposed once I stopped drinking, and I developed a strong case of OCD with musical obsessions, especially when my anxiety was really flaring up. There were some very dark days during my early days off the bottle, where I wasn't too convinced of living this life anymore. But my mind would always choose a particular Morgan Wallen song for some reason at that moment, and I would listen to it literally hundreds of times for hours on repeat until I got through that storm in my mind. And to this day, there will never be a day that passes that I don't listen to that man. And when people ask me, what kind of music are you into? I simply say, Morgan Wallen. And if you're a fan of his music, do yourself a favor, get yourself a record player and place that needle down on a Morgan vinyl. He's a dream interview for this club one day to discuss all of the adversities he has overcome in his life. Love you, brother. Whew. All right, guys, I could spend days, weeks, years shouting out all the people whose inspiration has helped get me to this moment. But I hope to showcase some of those people on this podcast one day. All right, let me close out this intro video so that you can get back to your life or watch my next video, which will be the first actual episode, which will be in the format that you'll see every Sunday. But listen, some of you might be wondering, who are these Stoics that you speak of? Some of you may have seen movies like Gladiator, where you may have heard of the name Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher king. He was an emperor of Rome, ancient Rome, and his personal journal, which was called Meditations, is now one of the most sold books in the world. Now, you may be saying to yourself, but how can I relate to a king? Well, let's take Epictetus, for example, a man who was born into slavery, lived as a slave, and had his leg deliberately snapped by his owner before he was able to gain his freedom. But he still went on to live a virtuous life, and he ended up opening his own school of Stoic philosophy, and he helped countless others for the whole rest of his life. Now, there were even women Stoics, like Portia Cato. The Stoics were boxers, they were wrestlers, they were runners, they were soldiers, scientists, politicians. It doesn't matter what you do, Stoicism is simply designed to help anyone live a virtuous and flourishing life, no matter what your story is. This club is a dream come true for me. It's been a long road of preparation and dedication to finally make it to this moment. So I'm very grateful for those of you taking precious time out of your day to show your support. And I would love to be able to put out more content, but due to my crazy schedule right now, I will be starting off releasing just one episode per week every Sunday morning, Stoic Sundays, to end your week off on a peaceful note and to send you off motivated to take on the week ahead. So guys, I work a full-time job. I work weird, unorthodox hours. I work swing shift schedule, and I do side gigs to help get extra money. I have 2 children. My oldest son has autism. He's also nonverbal. So I definitely have future plans of doing fundraising and awareness events for the autism community. And I'm stoked to announce that we have a fully stocked club merch store open right now. The link is in the description below. We have so much cool stuff on there for men, women, and the little ones in your life too. All the clothing is made with quality heavyweight fabrics, and our hoodies and sweaters are all champion brand. So you know you're not spending your hard-earned cash on junk. And I have to give a shout out to my brother from another, who's also our in-house artist. He designed all our merch. I have to thank him for his hard work. You know, we couldn't do this without him getting this started and having this merch available for you guys right from the launch. And yeah, his Instagram is in the description below. Go give him a follow, check out his stuff. And these weekly episodes are going to be titled with a quote or a statement by one of the ancient Stoics. I'm going to open up the episode by giving you a little background on that person, what things must have been like for them in that moment to be feeling that way, to express themselves in that way that they did. I'll then tell you how and why that I can relate to it. And then I'll send you off pondering on how you can relate to it. We all have moments in our lives when we hear something profound and it makes us stop and think deeply. And then reality takes over and the moment vanishes. Well, I'd like to provide you with that moment every single Sunday morning. I want this club to be a community of like-minded people, each person with their own story and history, sharing their experiences of overcoming adversity and coming out the other side stronger and wiser. Guys, please share your stories in the comments and please be supportive of each other. Let's stand out from the pack of social negativity. Let's be the tip of the spear with that. Don't fall victim to the modern traps exploiting your anxiety, and don't let your past mistakes prevent you from unlocking your true potential. As Marcus Aurelius says, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. Starting right now, starting today. Again, I have so much love and appreciation for you guys for showing your support. I have big plans for this channel, and I'm hoping to start doing interviews with notable figures to showcase the people with a platform that are in control of their emotions, who have faced adversity, and who have come out stronger and wiser. And to those people who also voluntarily expose themselves to hardships. And to our individual athletes, like our surfers out there, our wrestlers, our fighters, our rodeo athletes, to those who wish to be a positive light in this world. Our main hub is going to be on YouTube, but we'll be on TikTok for more eyeballs, and we'll be on Instagram, where we'll put some pictures up of our adventures, and we'll also be a place where you can get a hold of us. Our club email is going to be in the description below. please like a video. Please take 1 second, hit all 3 platforms if you have them. Please subscribe to us on all of them. It'll really help us grow this channel, give us more opportunity to do things we want to do. Ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Share these videos around and tell your friends to join the club. And guys, let me end it off on a serious note. If you're struggling with your mental health right now and you feel like you are in crisis mode, please call 988. It's confidential, it's free, it's nationwide. They're definitely not a sponsor of this video. This is something I just want to put out there because I'm going to hashtag mental health in this, so who knows who's going to be watching this video. 988, there's someone there 24/7, 365 days a year to talk to you for free, judgment-free. Your life is worth it. Much love and appreciation. I look forward to seeing everyone next week here at the Stoic Social Club.